What's me too, Capital G here. Got a really good and entertaining match for you guys to check out. This is competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! And honestly, even more so than the kind of dank, crazy Yu-Gi-Oh! Plays that you'll see once in a lifetime that I put on my channel all the time. I think I like these competitive matches a little more because this kind of represents what you might see at a regional at, I don't know, maybe table 12 or like table 20 or something like that. Two very, very solid tier 2 decks, and they're played by very competent players. A lot of back and forth in this duel, which I absolutely love to see. And I guess I just like matches like this because neither player is going to get steamrolled, no player is bricked, and you know, they can't really do anything. It's just a really good, entertaining match, and it's between Monarchs at the top and the new Phantasm archetype from Maximum Crisis at the bottom. Now, the cool thing going into this match, which I'm not really sure you'll see much in this format, or I guess really any format moving forward, neither player is actually using an extra deck. So that is actually pretty crazy, because Domain won't really do anything in this match, but it also means that the Phantasm guy, if he gets a bunch of normals on the field, won't be able to go for any like rank 8 plays or any potential rank 4 plays or anything like that, whether the Monarch player has Domain or not. So let's go ahead and roll this. And if you guys have been watching my channel, I guess over like the last month or so, you know, I'm actually a fan of Phantasm. I think they're a really cool archetype. Now, if you guys missed that, he did play Heat Wave, so the Monarch guy is not allowed to summon any effect monsters, which is basically the entire deck. So we won't see any tribute summoning this turn. You won't see any Idea or any Eidos or anything like that. Now, he is able to get himself a Gene Warped Werewolf, which it's 2,000. Now, he is kind of smart here. Not only does he get the Pantheism and does he get a search, but he goes ahead and he sets the Idea, which if it happens to die, obviously he'll just get the Pantheism back to his hand, and he got a defensive monster. You can see based on his opening hand, he probably would have been able to go off. I mean, this guy still has an Allure. He probably could have got the field locked up with Vanity's Emptiness or maybe a Majesty's Fiend, which actually is kind of useless against Phantasms because they don't really play effect monsters at all, which is why he has Heat Wave. He's going to activate a couple of equip cards, and this is really bad for Monarchs because pretty sure he's going to be summoning some really big Phantasm dragons straight from the deck, especially considering he did that battle damage. If you know anything about Phantasms, you guys know that when your Phantasm dragons come from the your Spiral Phantasm dragons come from the deck, your equip cards actually re-equip during the battle phase to those. But I was looking at this hand, right? And honestly, let me just pause for a second. I couldn't figure out who actually had the advantage in this match because, yeah, you see the board and you see the Phantasm guy has two colossal big Phantasm dragons on the board, and he's got a couple of decent cards in his back row, but look how many cards Monarchs have in his hand, and he has March of the Monarchs, which is really important here because obviously it stops those targeting effects. So I was looking at this board and I was like, yo, I don't really know who actually has the advantage. He's going to go Erebus here. I believe he's going to try and go after one of the Spiral Phantasm dragons, the big guys, to spin it back to the deck. The problem is, since he attacks the other Spiral Phantasm dragon, it can't be destroyed in battle, and it actually ends up summoning another one from the deck. So even though he did have the bigger Erebus thanks to the Domain of the Monarch, you getting that stat gain of 800 attack during the battle phase, it's unfortunate that he really wasn't able to do much of anything. Like, he spun a Spiral Phantasm dragon and then it just kind of got summoned back to the field. So even though he had a bunch of cards, I don't think he really did anything with it. So he's going to end up taking a bunch of battle damage here, or at least he's able to mitigate some of it with Prime, but he still does take some. And now this guy is running rampant, man. Look at all those Spiral Dragons on the field. This is why he should have played an extra deck. He would have been able to go rank 8 right there and still had a big monster on the board. But Monarchs are going to fight back. And see, the thing is, even though he does have March of the Monarchs on the field, that only protects him from the tribute summon monsters. He brings out Idea from the Eidos, and obviously he's looking to activate the effect, but he activates his Fiendish Chain, his Spiral Fiendish Chain, and it's cool because he can banish this and he can equip one of his equip cards from his graveyard to one of his monsters on the field. It's a really just neat trick that Phantasms have. I think when we get the Link summoning, I think I'm going to probably mess with Phantasm. The deck costs basically nothing, so he's going to tribute for Aether, which is a really big card, and you know, Aether is protected from March. He's going to attack again. Unfortunately, his Erebus can be targeted, and he's actually able to use all of those targeting cards on the Erebus, and you can see even though the Monarch guy is getting these summons off, he's just not able to get through these giant Phantasm Dragons, and dude just keeps summoning them left and right. Now, what's really bad is he gets this Pendulum Scale, and this is bad because now if he starts destroying monsters, he can start searching ones. He searches his other Pendulum Scale. This one makes it so if you do damage with a normal monster, you get to blow up a card on the field, so he can actually potentially get rid of that March of the Monarchs, which is like one of the only cards he can target. He can't target any of the tribute summon monsters, or he can go after Domain. That'd be another, you know, card he can go after. Now, this is where I thought the match was going to turn. He's going to well, he activates Prime, giving him a draw, and that allows him to get his Paleozoic back. But he's going to go Eidos, and this is where I thought things were going to turn. He goes for the Mega Caius, and he gets rid of the Phantasm Dragons permanently, and I was like, okay, this is the comeback. You know, he actually banished them both, because that's the way you really want to beat Phantasms. Get rid of them damn dragons. If you just send them to the graveyard, and you allow a Phantasm player to keep their board, you're really not doing anything. Like, if you kill one Phantasm Spiral Dragon, it doesn't matter. They're just going to summon it back anyway. You see how he has all of these cards, but he's finally able to deal with them, and I thought that this was going to be the comeback. But again, it's really hard to kill their monsters in battle because they have their equips to basically protect them from battle at least once that turn. Now, he is able to do some battle damage. I think he's going to blow up a card on the field. Yeah, he's able to do battle damage. He's able to attack one of the back rows. And he got Pacifist, which actually got him a card. And unfortunately, since he was able to search, he was able to use the Phantasm Spiral battle in the battle phase and actually kill the, what's it called, the Prime Monarch, and he was able to attack for game. But this was a really good match, and honestly, I think it does kind of suck. Like, anytime that I lose a duel, but I have advantage, or I have this many cards at my disposal, I always think, like, what the hell went wrong? Like, something definitely, like, didn't go my way. You know what I think would have actually changed this duel? I think maybe if he had escalation of the Monarchs and he was able to do a tribute summon during his opponent's turn, because you see he had the Monarch Stormforth and other things like that. He still had a bunch of cards in his graveyard, like Prime, that he could have used a couple more times. I think maybe that would have changed this duel, but the Caius was kind of the comeback card, and it's unfortunate that he ended up getting killed immediately after that. So this was a really entertaining match, and you know, it definitely shows the strength of both decks. It is a little unfortunate that kind of the power of Domain Monarchs is locking your opponent out of the extra deck, and you know, things like Majesty's Fiend shutting down monster effects, but then you happen to run into a deck that doesn't use its extra deck at all and doesn't use effect monsters at all. So very interesting match between two decks that I like a lot. Let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always, and subscribe if you have not already.